YouTube, IGTY checking into you real quick. Listen, it's a deep video. I need you to stay tuned to the end. Definitely have to stay tuned to the end, alright? Because, you know, it's MLK Day. A bunch of stuff going on. We're gonna get into all kind of stuff, man. MLK's birthday, him not being able to carry a gun, the Virginia gun rally, a gun buyback in Pittsburgh, to the LSU Tigers that won a college national championship, singing the Go Get Your Gat challenge. Go get your gat. Gat means gun. By the way, gat means gun. GAT means gun. Pistol. Poo poo. Yeah, and the LSU Tigers do the Go Get Your Gat in the White House with Trump right there. So, and then introduce the purple, gold, all that. We're going to get into a bunch of stuff, guys. But my main thing, real quick right now, is to tell you that I need you to stay tuned to the end, alright? Because in the beginning, I'm going to spit some history that Martin Luther King, you know, there's supposed history, you know what I mean? You know how history repeats itself, too. Pay attention to that, too. Pay attention to history repeating itself. Pay attention to comparison. But then at the end, I'm going to get back at it, Martin Luther King, and I'm going to give you my personal, humble opinion who I think he is and what I think he was really about. IGTY. Let's jump right into it. I appreciate you guys coming, man. Let's have fun. Let's do it. And I might have to go live with the rest of it. Love you guys. We get deep, homie. Jesus. Jesus.
Iggy MB5679. Get truth or die line. Like, share, subscribe.
I am the resistance, baby. This is truth or die.
I think it's about time to stay like
Possible opening paragraph. America has given the Negro people a bad check. And I did know.
Bobby speaking. Tell him about the dream, Martin. Tell him about the dream. So body language changed.
And he changed to what I call the Baptist preacher's.
And he changed to what I call the Baptist preacher stance.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up for little children. Will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Content of their character. I have a dream today.
In his talking, and my mind wandering back to faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation. Conscience of America. That we can be better than this. Free at last! Free at last! Thank God Almighty! We are free at last! I knew that I could never again raise my voice against the violence of the oppressed in the ghettos without having first spoken clearly to the greatest purveyor of violence in the world today. I want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over. And I've seen the promise.
So right now you're wondering, what am I doing, right? Okay, well, I'm showing you what they say history is about MLK, right? I'm showing you what he said, how he said he's seen the mountaintop, speaks of God a lot, right? Almost like the third eye symbolism back in the day. That's kind of like the stuff he was on, consciousness and, you know, raising it and loving everybody and caring, and it was such a good movement, but was it really? Now, who was MLK really? Who was he? Alright, now, I want to show you that part, guys, and then make sure you stay tuned to the end of this, because I'm going to show you who Martin Luther King really was. And right now, let's see what they say, what really happened to him. This is what they claim. Now, we know how they like to twist history a lot. Like, history is really his story. History, his story.
In Memphis, Tennessee.
Check it out.
He was just 39 years old. While Dr. King is primarily remembered as a civil rights leader, he also championed the cause of the poor, organizing the Poor People's Campaign to address issues of economic justice, and Dr. King was a fierce critic of U.S. foreign policy and the Vietnam War. Beyond Vietnam was the speech he delivered at New York's Riverside Church on April 4th, 1967, a year to the day before he was assassinated. In it, Dr. King called the United States the greatest purveyor of violence in the world today. Life magazine called the speech demagogic slander that sounded like a script for Radio Hanoi. The Washington Post said King, quote, diminished his usefulness to his cause, his country, his people, unquote.
Military breach of the Geneva Agreements concerning foreign troops. They remind us that they did not begin to send troops in large numbers and even supplies. And nor remembers how our leaders refused to tell us the truth about the earlier North Vietnamese overtures for peace. How the president claimed that none existed when they had clearly been made some miles away from its shores. At this point, I should make it clear that while I have tried in these last few minutes to give a voice to the voiceless in Vietnam, to understand the arguments of those who are called enemy, I am as deeply concerned about our own troops there as anything else. For it occurs to me that what we are adding cynicism to the process of death.
Guys, I'm just wondering, did he just say add Semitism to death? We're adding Semitism to death? That's what it sounds like to me.
You must know that their government has sent them into a struggle among Vietnamese, and the more the poor of America, who are paying the double price of smashed hopes at home and death and corruption in Vietnam.
Twist your guys' mind real quick, and you see how the chemtrails are getting laid way back in the day back then. Well, just think about this. Ho Chi Minh Trail. If you don't know about it, then Google it. Ho Chi Minh Trail, and you will see that we beat Vietnam in the war by making it rain. You know, like the chemtrails they throw in the sky today, the way they manipulate the weather to control it. Well, back then, they made it rain in Vietnam to flood the trails, and that's how they won the war, essentially, because the Vietnamese with the flooded trails couldn't transport their food, ammunition, water, or anything.
America, to the leaders of our own nation, the great initiative in this war is ours. The initiative to stop it must be ours.
Yo, what's up, baby? IGGY checking in the morning here. We got some wild shit, bro. Some wild shit to cover real quick, guys. First, I'm gonna show you what LSU Tigers was doing in the White House. Alright, we got the Richmond, Virginia gun rallies today. Also, there's some shit going down in Pittsburgh. I'm gonna get into that later. But, start off with, I'm gonna show you, thanks to Walking Tall, shout out, brother. Shout out to Walking Tall. He sent me this yesterday. I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday, so I'm gonna do it right now. LSU Tigers in the White House over the weekend. Alright. They won the national championship or whatever. So they go visit Trump, and they're doing get your gat challenge. Watch it right now, and then after that, wait and see what I just found. IGGY checking in this video. That's why I love being Christian, man. But God bless this man's young soul. Hopefully we find him, man. But that's why I love Christians. That's why I love being Christians, man. And that's why I love the Spirit of God, man. Check this out, guys. Also, spread this information. Share this, man. Get this out everywhere to everyone you know, man.
Man, I've been this way since day one. I don't need no medication. No, I don't need no drug. Oh, maybe I'm different than my ADHD.
Well, this is an exciting day in the White House. Get the Get the gas up, load it up. Get the gas up, load it up. Get the gas up, get the gas, get the gas, get the gas, till the third wall pops it, till the third wall pops it. Get the gas, till the 10th wall pops it, till the 10th wall pops it, till the 13th pops it. Get the gas, till the 7th wall pops it, till the
The Louisiana State University Tigers. Let's watch.
Graves, thank you very much, Gareth. Fans across the country, and it's not just for what you have done on the football field, which is true. In the face of a heartbreaking tragedy, you rallied together behind offensive coordinator Steve Insminger. Where's Steve? Well, this is an exciting day in the White House. We have very exciting days, more than most presidents, I would say, times 10. We like to keep it that way. The coach likes to keep it that way. But we really do. We just had I was just telling the coach, he said, I know, I just made some additional money. We just had another all-time high for our stock market just hit. So that'll be 149 times in less than 3 years. That's not bad. Coach, that's good, right? Steve, that's good. We'll take that, Coach, right? But today, it's about the coach and the team and that unbelievable quarterback, unbelievable players. It's really my great privilege to welcome to the White House the college football national champions, the Louisiana State University Tigers. And Coach, we have a lot of politicians out there, so many I won't really mention all of them. Well, there's one I have to. Hello, Bill, your senator. But we have a lot of great politicians out here.
Politics with sports, like, just weird. He's mixing politics with sports. I find that very, very awkward.
We're joined by many loyal fans of the purple and gold, including Ambassador Robert Lighthizer, who just did our great...
Many loyal fans of the purple and gold, including Ambassador Robert Lighthizer, who just did our great
deal. Where's Robert? Just did our great 2 deals. We just made the 2 largest trade deals in history. One with China and the other one with Mexico, Canada.
Okay, what's up, guys? F that. Way too cold outside, so let's just do this thing. I apologize, guys. It's very hard bringing you this stuff without the proper equipment, man. I'm trying the best I can, man. I'm having major technical difficulties without a computer. Like wow, does it just get so much harder? These screen recording things ain't working right. So I'm actually using an old phone to do it. I don't know why it won't work on the iPhone. What sense does that make, right? But anyway, back to what I'm saying. We're about to dive into some stuff here, guys. Okay, he's introducing the LSU Tigers. Louisiana, Phil Voodoo. They just won the national championship. So he's introducing them purple and gold, right? We're going to get into that. Purple's a very significant color. Gold's a significant color. Purple and gold together is significant. We'll get into some stuff like that. And then he's mixing politics with football. Now he's talking even trade deals. So you get it, purple and gold, and then trade deals with China and the economy, right? Like I said, we'll dive into some stuff there. Bunch of crazy stuff going on. I might have to go live with some of this. Also, they did the Go Get Your Gat challenge. And not to mention, look what's going on today in Virginia. Pro-gun rally, despite anger, threats of insurrection, massive rally is carried out peacefully outside state capitol. Now, I've been trying to say this, guys, for the last 3 days. This was almost like a publicity stunt, just like Storm 51. That's what I compared it to. That's exactly what they did. You know how much money they made off this? The places around there made money. Now, look, I understand it was a huge movement. This was very serious. I understand that. I'm not taking credit away from no credit from that. Very serious stuff, but look, man, nothing really happened. This is what, you know what I mean? Got to pay attention. When the mainstream's pushing something, you got to look the other way. Telling you, anytime the mainstream gets involved, guys, it's not going to be nothing. Just like today, it wasn't nothing. But, you know what? Listen, there's a lot of people there with rifles. You know what I mean? A lot of YouTubers went there. I wish I could have gone there. But thousands of gun right activists packed the streets around the Virginia Capitol on Monday, bristling with weapons, flags, and threats of insurrection, but never erupting into the violence authorities had feared. armed militias carrying assault weapons marched in formation until the crowds grew too thick. Protesters without firearms filed through 17 metal detectors at a single entrance to Capitol Square, where about 6,000 people cheered furious speeches on the Second Amendment. A far larger crowd remained outside the square where they could keep their weapons. Okay? I mean, that's where people went with their guns, which I commend you guys. I salute, man. Mad respect to everyone who went there, man. Hey, man, it's love, baby. Let's do this, guys. We got to stick together. It's about uniting. Let's do this, all right? For real, man. Stand up. Let's go, man. This is the time. Let's go. Keep thinking, man. We're going to win, man. Stay in the spirit of God. He won't power you to endure anything the devil puts upon us in this world. Because, speaking of devil, let me just point out one thing real quick. Because this is very significant that they used the number 6,000. 6,000 people cheered speeches on the Second Amendment. So now what do you have? You have 6 2 times, and then 17 metal detectors is 7 minus 1 is another 6. And right there you have 6 6 6. 6,000 people speaking on the Second Amendment gives you 2 6s. 7 minus 1 is another 6. They throw it in our face all the time. Numbers is a language. Also, 7 times 1 is 7, which is order out of chaos. Just want to point that out there. But, you know, kudos to everyone that went there. I respect you. I stand behind you on the Second Amendment. I fight for what you. I'm pro-guns and I'm pro-rights. But, like I said, this was a publicity stunt. Nothing happened. Alright. Alright. Now, bear with me. We're going to jump real quick, y'all. Now, this is going on in Pittsburgh today. Now, it's Martin Luther King Day. Okay, just put these couple pieces together real quick. It's Martin Luther King Day. And correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Martin Luther King do something with gun rights? What didn't he try to press to get a gun and they wouldn't let him have a right to get a gun or something like that? Forgive me, I didn't look it up, but something Martin Luther King and guns for sure. Now, reminder, racist government officials denied Martin Luther King Jr. a concealed carry permit written January 20th, 2020 at 4 p.m., which was today. And listen to this. Today and all across the nation, legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is being celebrated. This year, the annual lobbying day in Virginia falls on a federal holiday, and thousands of Second Amendment defenders have descended on Richmond to protest against newly proposed gun control legislation. This event, coinciding with the birthday of Dr. King, which isn't by accident, reminds us of the ways gun control has been used to oppress minorities. Has to be a live right in this, right? Reminder, racist government officials denied Martin Luther King Jr. concealed carry permit. This is what I was talking about, guys, but get the point. You get it. Now, MLK Day, they got the gun rally in Richmond. Now they do this in Pittsburgh today, in my city. Mind you something. Virginia is a Commonwealth state. It's the Commonwealth of Virginia. Pennsylvania, where I'm at, is the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. There's only 4 Commonwealth states in the country. Virginia and Pennsylvania are 2 of them. Virginia has a gun rally today, and Pennsylvania and Pittsburgh, in my city, does this. Seems a little weird. Check this out.
Is taking action after a double homicide not far from its doors. Amy Wattis explains.
At the end of the day, one homicide, one person getting shot is too many.
Pittsburgh Police Chief Scott Schubert is standing behind next week's gun buyback at the Church of the Holy Cross in Homewood. Monday, it becomes the first church in Pittsburgh to ever hold a program like this. The church will pay up to $100 per firearm, thanks to funding from various local organizations like the Episcopal Diocese of Pittsburgh.
If you're worried about your child having a gun and you don't want them to have it, or there's a gun in the house that you don't want, this is a great opportunity through faith to give back and then talk about to your children life.
The motivation behind this gun buyback initiative was a double homicide that happened on Kelly Street near Collier just about 2 months ago outside of the Church of the Holy Cross. A man was found dead lying next to a vehicle, and a woman found shot on the street later died at the hospital from her injuries.
Simply because it was so close. You know, it was right on the corner there, and you know, at 7 o'clock in the morning, bodies were on the street.
Our students are tired of having to live in a community. We've actually had children who didn't want to go to school because they were afraid to walk in their own community to get to school. This should be nothing that anyone should ever have to experience.
But if you can move one gun, or two, or three, or four, or even 100, maybe that gun might be used in a shooting. And if we can take it off the street and save that life is worth the $100.
And here at home, in honor of Dr. King's nonviolent message of unity, the city of Pittsburgh is working to combat gun violence. Officers are partnering with several groups, including the Church of the Holy Cross in Pittsburgh's Homewood South neighborhood, for a gun buyback event today. That's where we find Pittsburgh's Action News 4 reporter David Kaplan joining us live. David.
Yeah, Kelly, we told you about this program last Friday before the weekend, and the response has truly been overwhelming. The church says nothing like this has been done in this section of the city for about 15 years, and after just 40 minutes, they blew through the budget. Take a look at the sign on the front. It says that the response has been overwhelming and that they have run out of cash. And if you can imagine, there are still countless people streaming in, getting rid of their guns, despite the fact that they are not going to be getting any money for them. Now, they were planning on being here for 5 hours, and officials with the church worked with Pittsburgh police to organize this. The church had $5,100 in the budget today, and again, they blew through it in about 40 minutes. Again, some people not even taking the cash that are still coming in. Since then, they've had to tell people they're out, and again, others have returned the guns anyways. The Reverend here says they're absolutely astounded by this response.
We've gotten more assault weapons off the street in less than 40 minutes than we would have imagined. And so we want to continue to keep the efforts going if we can, but we can't right now because we don't have the money.
So again, they are going to remain here. They were originally budgeted to be here from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and they are going to stay here along with Pittsburgh Police until 3 p.m. in case people do want to turn their guns in without getting any cash for them. Join me back here at 12:30. We'll talk to you a little bit more about why this is happening at this specific church on this specific day. A live interview with that reverend, again, coming up at 12:30. For now, we're live in Homewood. David Kaplan, Pittsburgh's Action News 4.
Very awkward. I want to throw in here that $5,100 was their budget. 5 plus 1 is 6, guys. Oh, it just leads to a 6 again, right? The mark of the beast is 666. I understand it's only 1 6, but the budget just happens to make a 6, right? And then dig this, $5,100. That means they bought 5,100 pistols, assault rifles, and rifles, right? Assault rifles, as they say, right? 5,100. They would spend up to 100. It was the most you could get for a gun. $100. So that's at least 51 guns, right? 5,100 guns right there, right? And then they said people are giving them away. They don't even want the money. How many guns that is, bro? Dude, that's a lot of guns. 5 plus 1 equals 6. Something right here. On Martin Luther King Day, just all this, where they wouldn't give him a gun. There's always gun buybacks.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy, the Church of the Holy Cross in Homewood sponsored a gun buyback. It was so popular here, they ran out of money in less than 40 minutes this morning. The church had about $5,000 and was giving up to $100 per gun.
We're going to obviously have to do this again, but we plan this gun buyback assuming that we would get a certain number of guns, and we've overextended that plan.
They say you can still bring your gun if you want to give it away, and they're asking the community for monetary donations to keep the drive going until 3 this afternoon.
It was so successful it was extended from Saturday after they ran out of gift certificates used to pay for the guns. But Wilkinsburg's police chief wasn't happy to learn a man was approaching people outside the police department.
That was very disturbing, and it was disturbing to the people that were in line as well, because they were complaining about this person walking up to them soliciting to purchase guns.
Wilkinsburg Police Detective Michael Catanzaro works undercover. He says a woman first alerted police to a man who approached her.
He asked to see the weapons. She denied to show him and stated that he was buying guns back and would give her more.
A man at the buyback told police it happened to him too.
He was also approached outside by the same man on Saturday, and he refused to sell him the firearms. He stated to him, "No, I am giving them to the police."
The detective approached the man who was trying to buy guns in the street. The man insisted he wasn't breaking the law and that he works in law enforcement himself.
Upon opening his wallet to retrieve his ID, I noticed a badge, and he identified himself as a constable.
For now, Wilkinsburg police are citing Constable Michael Cornell of Harmony Township for peddling without a license. They'll consult with the ATF on whether to pursue additional charges. Meanwhile, weapons like this will be checked to see if they were stolen. If so, they'll be returned to the owner. If not, they will be melted down.
Yeah, right. Let's just add in there that Wilkinsburg is literally one neighborhood to the left, or my bad, to the right, going more east from Homewood, where that gun buyback church was, okay? So you have the gun buyback in Homewood, and then one block over is Wilkinsburg, okay? East, going east, it's both east side. So I just want to point that out there. Now check this out.
Long before a proposed gun buyback program was hit with criticism, and it came from San Antonio Police Chief William McManus. The idea first announced by District 2 Councilmember Jada Andrews Sullivan.
And District 9 Councilmember John Courage. Jesse DeGollado reports the chief says buybacks are well-intentioned, but they don't do enough to reduce gun violence.
The buyback program is a program that is voluntary.
Not in the room when the proposed gun buyback program was announced, San Antonio Police Chief William McManus.
You know, I think it's a noble idea, but in reality, they're ineffective. They just don't work.
He says they didn't when he was chief in Minneapolis and Washington, D.C. They didn't get that many guns, many inoperable, and it wasn't worth the cost of doing them. Besides, he says,
the folks who turn in those guns are not the ones using them on the street.
Also, buybacks shouldn't be no questions asked, he says. A weapon has to be documented, cataloged, and tested, because if it was used to commit a crime.
I'm going to want to talk to that person who turned it over.
To fund the buyback, it's been proposed using SAPD's asset forfeiture funds, but it would take getting a legal opinion. Even so, says McManus,
spending any money on it, on an ineffective program, is not worthwhile.
The District 2 council member says San Antonio could learn from those failures, like using a sliding scale based on the weapon's caliber, but no cash, likely gift cards, and nothing for the broken ones.
Once we have all of the details fully worked out, right now, this is still in the draft process.
Council proponents of the buyback program say they're still determined to bring perhaps a more refined version before City Council for a vote. Jesse DeGollado, KSAT 12
Our country, the United States of America, the Zionist States of America, has gotten the wrong hands. And how about it's time that we all stand up and take it back and put it in our own hands? Put it in your own hands. Be in control of your own life, man. I'm not telling you to uprise against the government. I'm not telling you to be violent about it. What I'm telling you is to stand up for your rights, man. Defend your rights, man, for real.
I have a dream. My 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
told you guys at the end I was going to let you know what I thought of Martin Luther, so I just think he's a Zionist man, he's pro-Israel, he says anti-Zionism
When people
is
criticize Zionists, they mean
anti-Semitism.
Jews. You are talking anti-Semitism. Those are Martin Luther. And then in the article it says, King immediately recognized anti-Zionism as anti-Semitism. Did you hear what I just said? King immediately recognized Martin Luther. And then in the article it says, King immediately recognized anti-Zionism as anti-Semitism. Did you hear what I just said? King immediately recognized anti-Zionism as anti-Semitism. Tell me how right now, today, isn't repeating itself in those words exactly what Martin Luther King was like 50-something, 60-something. What are we at here? 40, 50 years ago? Refusing to indulge what he believed was simply another manifestation of the same hatred confronting blacks, as Georgia Congressman John Lewis, who worked closely with Dr. King during the Civil Rights Movement, observed that he knew that both peoples, blacks and Jews, were uprooted involuntarily from their homelands. He knew that both people were shaped by the tragic experience of slavery. He knew that both people were forced to live in ghettos, victims of segregation. He knew that both peoples were subject to laws passed with the particular intent of oppressing them simply because they were Jewish or black. He knew that both people had been subjected to oppression and genocide on a level unprecedented in history. And yet, those were Martin's words. Here are some other quotes from him. I see Israel as one of the greatest outposts of democracy in this world as marvelous. Peace for Israel means security, for that security must be a reality.
Yo, mic check. Do you guys hear back? IGGY guys, here's the game plan real quick. Alright, this video is getting to be too long, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go live right now. I'm planning on going live and showing this video and then finishing it live. If I have difficulties, I'm going to have to go live and actually point a phone at this phone to show you guys the video, or just upload it and go live after that, but it's getting late, so that's why we're going to hurry this up now. I'm going to try to go live now. Let's do it, guys. Love you guys. Thank you for coming. Hope you stay to enjoy this ride.